Hi folks, and welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. Again, we're carrying on with the flies you must have in your box. Now this is another fly that I would not be without in my fly boxes, not just for competition fishing, but for leisure fishing. The Diawl Bach has lasted the test of time. There's lots of variations out there, but here's one from me, the pearl-ribbed Diawl Bach. Without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise is a Hanak H200 barbless hook. This one's on a heavy wire, it's finished in black nickel and it's coming in at size 12. The thread I'm going to be using today is from the Flysmith. It's 32 denier and as you can see it's a hot orange thread, or red, not quite sure. First thing, as always with GSP and the black nickel hooks, I've got far too much super glue on there. Let's get some of that off. I'm going to just put a touch of super glue on. This stops body rotation in the fly, which is one of my pet hates. If you buy shop bought flies, just check before you go to the counter and purchase them, is the body rotating round the shank of the hook? And if it is, put it straight back on the shelf. You don't want them. Okay, for the tail and the throat hackle, I'm going to be using a cock feather from this cape here. I'll just pick one out, and what I want to do is try and get some of the darker feathers towards the top of this hackle, and I'm looking for about a thumbnail's width for the tail and similar for the throat hackle. So I've just grabbed a bunch of that off. As you can see, I've got some outliers there that I'm going to remove, then I can dress it up. And I want about the length of the body of the fly. Just get a couple of turns to hold that into place. Don't need to be too fussy with it. Then we can come up, lift that out the way and take away the excess. Now I like to tie in the throat hackles at this stage. So I'm going to invert my vise. Again, I'm going to take about the width of my thumbnail off the hackling material here. Just pull it out at a 90-degree angle. And if you do this, a lot of these feathers will line up for you. Some won't, but you know, better a lot than none at all. So I'm just going to pinch that together. And then I want this again to protrude just past the eye of the hook. And then I can come in and secure that into place. Now it might seem a bit of a faff, but it's a lot less of a faff than when you come to finish the fly and you're trying to tie in your throat hackles. So what I want to do is I'm going to use my bodkin needle here just to come underneath, pull all them away, these fibres up out the way, and then I can just grab my scissors and take away that excess. Now it's looking a bit of a mess at the moment, but don't worry, it's going to come good, folks. So I'm going to wrap and tidy up now. I'll come all the way to the back of the hook, back up. So that's looking, well, it looks not too bad at the minute. I know it might look bad to you, but it is going to come good, trust me. So next we're going to tie in our pearl rib, and what I'm using is from Trout line. It's ribbing fibres and it's a UV pearl, and that's on purpose. I want to have that UV in the pattern. Now there'll be people who argue black is white when it comes to UV and trout fishing. I'm a believer in that it doesn't hurt to have it. Does it make any difference? Well, they say that juvenile trout, so trout that are sort of 1 to 2 years old, do pick up UV in their eyesight. What I would suggest is, how do they know that? You know, somebody come back as a trout and said, listen, we can see that UV, please eat me. No, I don't know. But that's what the research says. Whether it's accurate or not is a different matter. So for the body, again, I'm using a Trout line product. It's peacock herl, hand selected. I only want a single fibre of the peacock herl. don't want this to be a big bushy dressing. And I'm going to catch it in at the tip. Now, this is the end that it's come off the stalk. This is the tip. Now, the tip is always the most delicate part of a peacock herring. So just grab your finger and take away that really weak part. So what I'm left with is a fairly strong feather, I hope. Now, again, Diawl Bachs, it's one of these patterns that, you know, people say, oh, it's boring. It is boring, let's face it, it's a boring tie. But I'm not about tying flies to catch fishermen here. This series is all about flies that I would happily tie on my cast and go out fishing with and catch fish. So I'm not worried if it's boring. What I'm showing you is effective flies. So I'm going to start bringing that up the shank, touch and turns all the way up. As you can see, there's quite a lot of fibres on this single hackle, and it is quite bushy at this part, but don't worry, we're going to sort all that out as we get on with the fly. So how would I fish this pattern? I've fished Diawl Bachs straight through in the past, size 10 on the point, 3 size 12s up, and my favourite Diawl Bach is Andy Everett's, which, if you're not sure what that is, it is on the channel. Please feel free to search up Andy Everett's Diawl Bach once you've finished watching this video, of course, and liking it, by the way. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. I'm going to come in and take away the stalk of the peacock herring, and then I don't want this overpowering the fly, so I'm looking at it between 3 and 4 turns. On this occasion it's going to be 4. Obviously if you're tying size 14s, it's going to be smaller. You'll get 3 turns, and vice versa if you're going bigger with a size 10. So I'll trap the rib in place, a couple of turns in front of the rib, and then I can come up and take that away. Now, it's not the sexiest looking pattern in the world, but as I said, it is super effective. So what I want to do now is I'm going to just invert my vise so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to grab my throat hackles, sweep them back, and try and trap them into place where I want them to lie. So the trouble with trying to add throat hackle after the fact is you end up blocking up the eye of your hook with the stem. Doing it this way, the eye of the hook remains clear. So what remains for me to do at the front here is now to build that nice hot head. You can use black thread if you want it to be a much more subtle pattern, but for some reason, and it's probably down to confidence, I find I get more success with having just a nice hot head on it. I'm going to come in with my whip finish tool now. Finish that off. Now, to me, that's too bushy. Some people might like to finish it at this point. You know, as that's pulsating through the water, the UV will be flashing. But what I do is I've got a rubber that I keep for the job especially. It's made by Stadler, but I suppose any rubber will do. It's a pencil rubber. As you can see, I've had it for a number of years. And what I like to do is just get the rubber, put it over the pattern, and what I'm doing is I'm just thinning out some of that peacock herring. Not all of it. The underneath goes largely untouched, but that does make for a slimmer profile Diawl Bach, and we all know what slimmer profile means, don't we? Let me know in the comments section below if you know the answer. Slimmer profile flies, what do they do in the water that a bigger pattern or a pattern with more of a footprint would not do? So to finish up, you can use resin or varnish, super glue, whatever your poison is. I'm going to use resin today, as it will give me that immediate quick fix. Now always remember, whichever fly pattern you're tying, ensure that you have cleared the eye. Better to do it at the vise than in the boat, especially in a howling gale. And trust me on that, I speak from experience. There we go, the pearl-ribbed Diawl Bach. It obviously fits in the competition gauge if you're that way inclined, and if not, you can tie them in whatever size you please. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all in the next one. Hi folks.